Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Friday, April 19th, NBA. We got a couple of play-in games, and then we'll go through some series bets that we got for round one as well. And then we'll get in, next show, we'll get into the games for Saturday on the 20th. But let's get started here in the NBA. We'll look at those lines here pretty quick. Bulls going to the Heat. No Jimmy Butler. He's out for, it's a shame. He's out for a while. Heat laying 1.5, 205 total in this one. Extremely low total with the Bulls that shot the lights out in the last game. The Heat, I don't know if the Heat are, I don't think they want to get beat. They want to lose, but I don't know if they're going to come out with a ton of energy either in this one. I'm still waiting for Bam Adebayo to be the player that we think he can be, which is, 25 and 12 every night, instead of just this stuff where he tries to be, a playmaker, which is, you need to pass the ball. But he's got to he's got a unique ability to score around the rim, not Zion-like or Kyrie, but he can finish around the rim, and that's easy points. And the Heat need all the points they can get. Not only is Jimmy Butler out, Terry Rozier's hurt. Tyler Hero's, he's not, I wouldn't consider all the way back from his injury. He was out for months in that one there. I'm not saying, I think the Bulls can probably pull off an upset here. We're not going to play the Bulls. I think this is going to be one of those games back and forth. Nobody really takes a dominant lead in this one, so we'll just roll with some player props in this particular one. Kobe White, 20-plus points. Kobe White, 3+ threes, 4+ threes, and over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in that Bulls Heat game, Kobe White, 20+ points, 3+ threes, 4+ threes, over 2.5 turnovers. We're also looking at like Tyler Hero. Maybe we go under points on Tyler. He was sitting around the 25 ballpark. I think that's a ton of points in that game, in that one. But do like Kobe White. Don't expect him to score 40, but 25 points with 4 threes would definitely get the ticket taken care of there. But in that particular game, like I said, it's just kind of expect back and forth. Don't expect really high scoring. In the Bulls, you can't. The problem why you don't take the Bulls here is because you can't ever count on them. They're about as inconsistent as it gets. The Heat at home have played well, but they've also played like dog doo-doo. They have not had a good season. They look just tired and beat up from the season, previously going to the finals against the Nuggets. So if you're playing either side, just a little bit of caution there. I just don't know if Miami's going to come out with a ton of energy in order to fend off the Bulls here. You could be looking at it going, okay, Jimmy Butler's hurt. We don't have a chance in that Celtics series. Maybe it's time to pack it up and go on vacation. No reason to extend this out a couple more weeks in that one. Next game up, Sacramento Kings go to the Pelicans. Pelicans are a 1.5-point dog. I understand Zion's out. I think that's a big blow. But let's look at the numbers realistically here. So the Kings were at home against the Warriors and were a 2.5-point dog. Now, they won that game, but they were at home, and the Warriors are not as good as the Pelicans are, right? So you're looking at a team that was the 7 seed against a team that was a 10 seed. We only see a 4-point switch and home court gone away in this one. So I'm a little confused by the line here. We haven't played the Pelicans as of yet, but we're probably going to go back and play them here. I just think they can figure enough out in order to beat the Kings. I know the Kings have been a little bit better on the road than at home. They play a little bit more defense. That's why we're seeing a 210 total as well in this one. But we do have a few player props. Like I said, we're probably going to come back and add the Pelicans. Just make sure you do check out our Google Sheets that you'll find at the end of the show or in our social media platforms in the channel itself. So De'Aaron Fox over 2.5 turnovers, Sabonis over 3.5 turnovers, and Fox under 39.5 par. So just 3 bets so far on that one. Fox over 2.5 turnovers, Sabonis over 3.5 turnovers, and De'Aaron Fox under 39.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. Now we'll get into the series, not the games themselves, but the series coming up. So some interesting series, I think. So let's look at just the Saturday series, right? And then we can get into the Sunday because we don't know the full slate yet. So we've got the Magic and the Cavs. They have split the series regular season 2-2. The Cavs have went from a 2 seed to basically 4-5 matchup. When Mitchell went out, they've been extremely inconsistent, and that's being very polite on that one. The Magic, on the other hand, their biggest issue is if they're hitting threes or not. They play great defense. They turn you over on that one, and they can get to the hole. Now, they've struggled in the second half after the All-Star break for a couple reasons. Three-point shooting. When they shoot the three ball well, they win. They don't just win. They punish you. And the other one is not getting as many foul calls with Banchero and everybody going to the hoop. So they've really struggled to score in some games in that one there. We actually like the Magic here. I think this is a pretty even matchup, and for some reason the Cavs are like minus 200 in a lot of spots to win this series. So we'll give you a few of the series bet we have going on for the Magic. So the Magic just to win the series was plus 165 when we got that one. Just for them to win the series against the Cavs. In that. Then we've also got the Magic plus 1.5 games on FanDuel. As of like today, it was minus 128 on there. So make sure you shop that around. I saw that at minus 150, 160 at some books. But the Magic getting 1.5 games, the only way they lose is if they only win 2. If they win 2 games or less in that series. So I think they're going to win, especially those home games. I think it's going to be hard to beat Orlando down there. I think they have a chance on those road games, too. It's just Darius Garland's been a turnover machine. He hasn't shot the ball well at all. Donovan Mitchell, you don't know what you're going to get on a nightly basis from him. Jarrett Allen's been – he's like they can throw the ball to Jarrett Allen 20 times a game, and he can make something happen. The problem is they tend to forget about him quite a bit in that one there. So we like the Magic in that series, plus the 1.5 games. Then we also like the Mavs just to win the series outright. So in that one there. So let's get to the next series we're going to be looking at. That's going to be the Suns and the T-Wolves. The public has made this thing go from basically even money to the Suns almost went like minus 140 to win the series. The Suns have the stars: Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. No question about it, right? Not only that, they've won the 3 games against the T-Wolves and just beat them recently in order to get into the 6th spot as the Pelicans faded in that game against the Lakers. So they got a little bit of gift from winning that one. The T-Wolves defense is really good. Where the T-Wolves defense really excels is at the rim, and the Suns are jump shooters. So it's Jaden McDaniels on the T-Wolves, and Anthony Edwards are going to have to guard guys like Booker, Durant, Beal, and make them miss the jump shots, the mid-range. The Suns are definitely the mid-range team. They do not shoot the three. They amazingly do not shoot the 3-ball extremely well. Right now, Grayson Allen led the league in 3-point percentage, but Grayson Allen's not your top scorer. He's your 4th option, if not 5th option in the starting lineup. He's the guy that's normally open. If they're passing the ball well, Grayson normally gets a wide open shot every time, just because there's so much attention paid to Booker, Beal, and Durant. Now, the T-Wolves have home court advantage. The T-Wolves have Anthony Edwards. Are they going to be able to get the job done? We think so. We're going against the public trend here on this one here. We do like the Wolves. We like them to beat. So now we got this at a number that was not even good as it is now. We got it at even money, the Wolves to beat the Suns in the series, but you can get plus money on this now. T-Wolves in 6. We took a little bit of a flyer there. It was plus 650 on FanDuel. Worth a little bit of a sprinkle there for the T-Wolves in 6 games. Grayson Allen to hit the most threes in the Suns and Wolves series. That was plus 280 on DraftKings earlier today. I think he's going to shoot a ton of threes and should have some wide open looks. Booker's not going to take a ton. Durant, Beal, they're not going to take a ton. Anthony Edwards is really the only other guy that could probably hang with him in threes, and we don't think that's going to happen. I think Edwards gets to the rim quite a bit as the Suns don't prevent a lot of defense going to the cup. So we went over the T-Wolves to win the series. The T-Wolves in 6. Grayson Allen with the most threes in that one as well. So in that T-Wolves Sun series, we are taking the T-Wolves. We took them to win the series, win it in 6. Grayson Allen also to have the most 3-pointers in that series as well. So let's get back to the next series here. That's going to be 76ers and the Knicks. 7 seed against 2 seed, but if you really go back to when Embiid got hurt, Philly was the 2 seed, and the Knicks were closer to that 7 seed. So who do we like in this particular series? Knicks got the home court advantage. I think this is a bad matchup for the Knicks. They probably wanted the Heat. I think they'd absolutely roll over the Heat, but I don't know against the 76ers. We like the 76ers in this particular matchup, in this series, on this one. Jalen Brunson, this does not mean I don't like the Knicks. The problem with the Knicks is you really got one main scorer or one superstar, and then we've got a bunch of other guys. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby is a great piece for them. He's not a 20 points a night scorer. If you stop DiVincenzo from going crazy, you beat them. Joel Embiid's going to be a monster problem. He's going to be 30-plus points a night, even if he's limited a little bit on minutes. They do not have a match. They do not have a defender for him. They just don't. I mean, the Knicks, like I said, a really nice story. Unbelievable that they got to the 2. But we do like the 76ers in this series. So we do have the 76ers to beat the Knicks. That was basically minus 110. We also sprinkle a little on them to win the series in 6. It was plus 360 on FanDuel earlier in that one there. So just a couple bets on the 76ers Knicks series. 76ers to win that series and for them to win it in 6. Next series up, we're going to look at the Lakers and the Nuggets. Congratulations to the Lakers for winning the playoff game. I'm not saying you should have lost it, but this is one of the worst matchups for you could draw. The Nuggets, obviously defending champion. Jokic, Porter, Murray, Braun, Aaron Gordon, all these guys they're really good. The second unit of the Nuggets is really good as well. I think they can beat up on the Lakers a little bit there. And Anthony Davis is just way too inconsistent, I think, for the Lakers to make a run here. LeBron is LeBron, and he's unbelievable. No question about it. For him to put up the amount of points, assists, rebounds he's doing it at 21 seasons in is just incredible. I mean, he looks like he's at the peak of his career on that one there. We know it's coming closer to the end on that, but we love the Nuggets in this series. The question is how do you bet them and not have to pay like minus 400 for them just to win the series? So we took the Nuggets to beat the Lakers in 5 games. They swept them last year. We think maybe the Lakers get one. Nuggets win first 2. Lakers get 1 of the 2 at home, and in Game 5, the Nuggets just close it up at home. So Nuggets in 5. D'Angelo Russell, the most threes in that Lakers-Nuggets series. He shoots a ton of threes. He shoots volume-wise probably more than Porter and Jamal Murray. We expect Jamal Murray to have a big series, but we expect Russell to make more threes than anybody else in the series. So the 2 bets in that one, we have 3. We also have the Nuggets minus 2.5 games, which means they can win in 4 or 5. That was plus 140 on DraftKings earlier today. So the Nuggets to beat the Lakers in 5, Nuggets minus 2.5 games, and Russell the most threes in that Lakers-Nuggets series. Let's see. Next series up, Mavs at the Clippers. I think this is the one that probably most people want to see. This one's projected, I don't know what happened here. This series basically opened up at even money, and now there's huge money on the Mavs, and that's Luka influence for sure. Not only that, the Mavs won 16 out of 20 down the stretch. The Clippers sucked down the stretch. Kawhi not being there was a big hurt. No question about it. I think it was more rest than anything else, trying to rest them up for the playoffs. We're kind of with the public on this one. We see the Mavs kind of taking this series and not really struggling much. I mean, I expect this series to go 6 or 7. We'll put it to you that way. But we expect the Mavs to come out on top. They do not have a match. They have matchup problems across the board. So the Mavs, since the trade deadline, they added some pieces. Daniel Gafford's been really good for them. P.J. Washington has been a little inconsistent, but he can stretch the floor a little bit more, along with Hardaway, along with Doncic, along with Kyrie. Really like the way this team's sharing the sugar, so to speak, or sharing the ball. But we do like the Mavericks in this series. We took the Mavs to beat them in the series. And then we also we have the Mavs that win in 7 games against the Clippers. That was plus 700 on FanDuel, so we sprinkled a little bit there. So Mavs to win the series and the Mavs to win it in 7. That series should be fantastic, though. That's what we're hoping for in that one. Next series up, Pacers at the Bucks. All right, Pacers and the Bucks. No Giannis, supposedly. I don't know when he's going to be back, or if nobody does. We'll see how he heals up. The Pacers have played a little bit better defensively since the All-Star break, but the offense has struggled a little bit. In the Bucks, you just don't know what you're getting. I will say this. The games that Giannis has missed in the last 20 games, Lillard has really kind of taken this team on his back a little bit, and Bobby Portis has stepped up in a big way. So I understand why the people bet the Pacers and got it back down to damn near even money. I completely understand that. With no Giannis, that does hurt him a bit. But Lillard has always seemed to win a first playoff round. It was getting past that point, not having the second superstar or third superstar with him. So in this one here, we've got the Bucks plus 1.5 games against the Pacers in that one. That was like minus 138 on FanDuel. A little bit earlier today, we've been watching that one quite a bit, as we wanted to play the Bucks, but I wasn't going to play the Bucks at some huge number. So Bucks plus 1.5 games against the Pacers, which means they need to go either win the series or go to a 7th in that one. So if everybody doesn't understand, when you're getting these plus 1.5 or plus 2.5, it's basically, so it's a 7-game series. The winning team has to win 4. So if you're getting plus 1.5, you need to extend that out to, you have to get 3 wins, because that'll give you 4.5 with the plus 1.5. That makes it a winner. So the minus 2.5, like we bet on the Nuggets, they have to win that series in 4 or 5 for that ticket to cash on that one there. So we'll run through these bets for the playoffs one more time. Mavs beat the Clippers. T-Wolves to beat the Suns. Magic to beat the Cavs. We expect the Suns T-Wolves to go 6 games. T-Wolves in 6. 76ers to beat the Knicks in the series. 76ers to win it in 6. Grayson Allen, most threes in that Suns-Wolves series. D'Angelo Russell, most threes in that Lakers-Nuggets series. We've also got Nuggets to beat the Lakers in 5. Mavs to win in 7. Bucks plus 1.5 games. Magic plus 1.5 games. And the Nuggets minus 2.5 games in their series against the Lakers. So at the end of every episode that we do, make sure you check out on YouTube. There'll be a link to our Google Sheet, or it's in our YouTube page or our TikTok page. So check it out there. It's docs.google.spreadsheet, bunch of other stuff behind it. Make sure you click into that. Once you get into the Google Sheets, if you're looking for these basketball bets, all you have to do is go to basketball 23-24, scroll down, and you'll be able to see all these series bets that we already made, plus the play-in bets. We don't have very many on this play-in night. It's not 2 matchups we absolutely love. We would love the Pelicans if Zion was there, but without him. Also, you can see the bets we'll be going over in the next episode for the first round Saturday the 20th on that as well. So make sure you do check that out when you get some time. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel or any of our social media platforms, makes life really simple. Once you hit that subscribe button, we'll be in your subscriptions tab or followers tab, depending on the site. And if you want to make life even easier, turn on the notifications for that for YouTube or TikTok or any of the social media platforms. That way you get a notification for when we drop an episode of bets. You get those first. It'll go to your phone or device. You click on the link. You're in there. You're ready to rock and roll. Give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.